Well, let's move on. While the army grapples with the possible involvement of a serving officer in the Malegaon blasts, NDTV's Randeep Singh travelled to Pune to take a closer look at the ideological beginnings of the Abhinav Bharat, the hardline Hindu group whose members are under arrest for their role in Malegaon.
The Pune you and I know, a perfect example of New India and its dreams. Ferguson College here is one of its temples. This leafy campus, though, was once home to Veer Savarkar, the man who first founded Abhinav Bharat in 1904 as a forum to propagate his brand of Hindu nationalism.
Also located on the same Ferguson College campus is that room. It's padlocked now. This block is not in use. That's the room Veer Savarkar used when he was a student here at Ferguson College. And it was while he was a student that he became the follower of yet another Maharashtrian who propounded a very militant form of nationalism.
Savarkar's guru was a man called Damodar Chapekar, who assassinated a British police officer in 1897. Damodar and two of his brothers were hung by the British a year later, Damodar clutching onto a Gita, singing Vande Mataram as he went to the gallows.
Violence for quote-unquote religious purposes, it is eminently justifiable. And therefore killing Gandhi was actually like giving a sacrifice to the mother nation. And therefore it was Vadh rather than mere assassination or murder, ritually killed.
Savarkar wound up Abhinav Bharat in 1952, but his vision had been refined. The path to safeguarding religion, he thought, was for Hindus to acquire military training. In a speech around this time, he said, "Let Hindus therefore come forward now and enter the army, the navy, the air force. Render the Hindu military-minded, spirited and valorous, and secure and stabilize Hindu strength in Indian military forces of all arms." The legacy of this thinking, its impact can be gauged even today. The Shiv Sena BJP government in the mid-90s set up military schools in almost each district of the state. Schools like this one near Pune, the Rani Lakshmibai Military School for girls. Colonel Agase, a former Gorkha officer, is the school's commandant.
See, to love your country, what exactly you look for?
कष्ट जो मिलेंगे मुस्कुराते सब सहेंगे हम देश के लिए सदा जिएंगे और मरेंगे हम.
The students here get a modern education. They also get a somewhat narrow view of India and its problems.
I want to defend my country from terrorism.
Remember, it is two military schools, the Bhonsla military schools in Nagpur and Nasik, that the ATS says were used as a training ground to train activists of the now revived Abhinav Bharat. It's also not a coincidence, many point out, that Pune is the base for the new Abhinav Bharat. While the bulk of Maharashtra's soldiers are Marathas, this militaristic mindset is confined to a small community. Is the thinking behind an act like the Malegaon blast a synthesis of both these schools of thought?
So if Lieutenant Colonel Purohit was possibly the personification of what Savarkar called out in 1952 for Indian men, Hindu youth, to join the armed forces, that was the way for national service now. Well, Sameer Kulkarni, Colonel Purohit's comrade in arms in Abhinav Bharat, grew up here in Chinchwad, where Sapekar's statue dominates the city.
In Pune, Randeep Singh Nandal for NDTV.